the ability for many of these communities to be able to engage in activities that are enterprise-driven and are able to condition the kind of economic outlook that many of them may be coming from the countries from which they transition into Uganda. Today, we are joined by the Senior Commercial Officer in the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, Mr. James Makula, and Mr. Hilary Mbabazi, a Director at Soko Uganda, for this conversation on the craftsmanship that refugees are undertaking across the country. Let me speak to the Chief Commercial Officer of the Ministry of Trade to bring us up to speed with exactly what enterprises are rolling out. Mr. Makula, you're welcome to Morning at NTV.
I think I've been rightly introduced. I want to give a brief background to the exhibition. Why the exhibition, why the involvement of the ministry, and what do we expect from this exhibition?
Yes.
Refugees are entrepreneurs as other Ugandans are. But there has been a narrative that refugees are only aid dependents. In other words, they're out there in the refugee settlements being fed, housed, and looked after, unlike other Ugandans. That is not the truth. Refugees are also economic actors within the country. They are involved in various trades, and this is in line with the Refugee Act, which allows them to participate in agriculture, establishing enterprises or companies, trading generally. So in other words, they also have an economic contribution that they make to the country. However, given that majority of them are confined within the 13 refugee settlements, the ability of their products to reach vast markets is limited. And that is why the Ministry of Trade saw it necessary to organize the inaugural National Refugees and Host Communities Entrepreneurs Exhibition, scheduled to take place at Motive from the 12th to the 14th of December this year. Why the Ministry of Trade? The Ministry of Trade is one of the primary institutions of government that targets economic empowerment of all people within the country. And refugees are part of that, of their target groups. The ministry is mandated under the Jobs and Livelihood Integrated Response Plan, but also it has incorporated several interventions within the National Development Plan 4 to ensure that refugees are empowered. In 2023 December, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Madam Robin Anabanja, made pledges in Geneva to empower or to improve self-reliance or create a self-reliant and a resilient refugee community. And the ministry is obliged under those policy pledges to contribute to the establishment of 300,000 sustainable economic opportunities. So we believe that this exhibition is part contribution to the implementation of the policy pledges, the Jobs and Livelihood Integrated Response Plan, but also within the mandate of the Refugee Act. Why? What do we intend to achieve? One, we intend to promote entrepreneurship among refugees. Truth be told, there are some refugees who are out there, not so much economically involved. So we want to provide tailored business development services so that we can enhance their entrepreneurial skills. Two, we want to promote or showcase the diversity and competitiveness of the products made by refugees in those settlements and even outside the settlements. Kampala here, there are so many refugees. And as I said earlier, that there is a thinking that refugees are not involved in economic development.
Economic growth.
That's not the right thing. The third objective is to create awareness about the right of refugees to work. So many employers think that refugees don't have that entitlement or that right to work. We've seen that so many refugees are now lawyers, accountants. They have done a lot of education to the extent that that they also need to access jobs. But what is the thinking of an employer? That no, this is a refugee, jobs are made for Ugandans. No, as long as the refugee qualifies for that particular job, they should be given an opportunity to work. Then the other one is we want to create a platform for policy dialogue. Many of these refugees are facing challenges arising out of our policies, and on that they will have a number of activities as our implementing partner, Hilary Mbabazi, will enlighten more.
Okay.
And during this policy dialogue, we've invited so many agencies, government agencies, and also development partners, so that the refugees can share their challenges to these development partners and government entities as policymakers, so as we can make the necessary policy reforms to create a more inclusive and enabling business environment.
All right.
Then I think, and then of course we want to also network them in terms of business. So those are the major objectives as to why we are holding this. We are holding refugees and host communities. Why? As I said, that the host communities in some cases think that they are underprivileged compared to the refugees. So we want to promote social cohesion among the refugees and the host communities, especially in the 13 gazetted refugee settlements.
Okay, that is a very important submission that you make, one that has been a bone of contention, especially with the host communities. We shall be delving into that a little bit later, but allow me bring on board Mr. Hilary Mbabazi. You said he is the implementing partner. Hilary Mbabazi is an official at Soko Uganda. Just bring us up to speed with the theme, but most importantly, what the refugee economy looks like right now.
Thank you so much, Chris. First of all, thank you for hosting us and rallying the campaign behind this. Once again, my name is Mbabazi Hilary, the founder of Soko Uganda, implementing partners of the Bubu policy on behalf of Ministry of Trade. So 3 days exhibition. What does the trade business look like for refugees? I can say refugees are innovative. Refugees have good products. Refugees are tapping into the available market. Just a few hiccups that we are trying to address. Formalization of businesses. Many of them, their businesses are not formalized. The quality of the products, why aren't they standardized? If they are, why aren't they so many? So that's when UBS comes in. Why is it that they don't have trading licenses? The local government comes in. So those are some of the hiccups that refugees are facing. But apart from that, from the free policy, the business is working as much as the Ugandan is performing here. So diving into the exhibition for the 3 days and the conference is we are trying to tackle these issues in one dialogue, the stakeholders. For example, I can say URA, why isn't it so easy for a refugee to have a tin so that they can be able to supply, pay taxes, So come on that day, URA, listen to URA, let them share their experience. If it's URSB, what do they need for a refugee to have a formalized business so that they can be able to be part of the procurements, like NTV can also get a supplier who is a refugee, So those are the conference, aspects that we are going to tackle in. Then when we look about the exhibition, when we are talking about these things, the primary beneficiary has to be available. So we've invited about 300 exhibitors. So when you talk about a product, we want you to look at the product. When you talk about the innovation, we want you to look at the innovation. So vis-a-vis that, we shall have business clinics. So what am I talking about business clinics? We have online portals that have been brought up, URA, URSB, OPM. So what we need is these business clinics are going to train these participants. You don't need to go to Ministry of Trade. You don't need to walk to URA because of the language barrier. It may take you a long time to have your issues sorted, but we can train you on how to use the portal so that wherever you are, you can apply for these services. So that's what is going to happen in the different business clinics that are going to happen. So the exhibition is going to take 3 days. The conference is going to take 1 to 2 days, where we shall even award, the best performing innovators in the refugee, centers. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Hilary, for that. Allow me to stay with you very shortly, especially to delve into the challenges that refugees face particularly. I'm glad you've talked about the need to, for example, access services from the Uganda Revenue Authority and be able to either register but also be part of the procurement protocols within the economy. I want to understand, in identifying particular craftsmanship within these communities vis-a-vis what the host communities are also engaged in, there could be challenges of competition. How is this dealt with in order to ensure there is harmony in how the two communities relate?
Thank you so much, Chris. Though this would be directly to Ministry of Trade who brought the free policy, free trade policy. But I'll just dive into technically in terms of market and the business aspect. Competition is healthy.
That's right.
I can really say competition is healthy, and it also helps the country grow. So what we advocate is let there be fair competition. Let us have the best product out of the market. What we avoid, or what we try to achieve, is fairness, equity. What we are doing about is don't bring a service that is going to favor more on the sector of the refugees and doesn't favor the local entrepreneur. So the fairness is what we try to advocate for. But allow me invite Mr. Makula to talk about this, because there are issues that they tackle in the Office of Minister of Trade.
No doubt. Yeah. Mr. Makula, please elaborate on that context, but also there was an issue you talked about, refugees being in designated areas. We do know that there are many who are not in designated areas and live as freely as any Ugandan. Those are also still classified and operate as refugees. Any particular challenges for those ones? You can also highlight them.
Refugees, whether they're in settlements or not in settlements, as other Ugandans face challenges, most of their businesses are informal because they are micro in nature. So even access to capital is a problem, because not so many of these financial institutions believe in the certainty of their existence here. They think that since they are refugees, the following day the person can be out of Uganda. So those are some of the challenges they have. Of course, even the mindset that these are refugees. They are, they are being pampered. They should be in the settlements. No, which as government we are not for. So, like any other business person, refugees are also facing challenges related to finance, related to even certification of their products. The cost of certification of their products is still high. So I think he has said, we are inviting all government agencies and we'll address we'll table some of these issues to them. Thereafter, we'll develop a work program to see how these can be implemented. About competition, competition is regulated under the Competition Act of Uganda, and it does not allow for anti-competitive trade practices. It does not, it promotes fairness in terms of trade. So, but competition, as he said, is ideal for, for even consumer welfare and the other advantages that come with it. So they actually face stiff competition because of their micro because of their involvement in micro businesses. Many of them, majority of the businesses of the refugee entrepreneurs, out of the estimated 600,000, are not. They are not large enterprises. They are micro and small, to some extent in nature. But many have transited over time. When you go to some of these refugee settlements, refugees are involved in even maize milling, which is a medium enterprise in many cases. So we believe that with such interventions as the exhibition and other interventions along coming up in the nearest future, they will be able to compete favorably.
Okay. Thank you. Hilary Mbabazi, as an implementing partner, there is so much on ground that needs to be understood. What particular policy reforms would implementers like yourself be pushing for in order to ensure that business within the refugee communities thrives?
Thank you so much. Maybe to highlight, we've been working with refugees for 3 years now as implementing partners, trying to ensure we get market for them, especially on our e-commerce platforms, exhibitions that we're having. So the first thing that we want to advocate for is the business formalization. How can a refugee easily have their business registered, their business grow? Because for you to upscale from a small company to a bigger company, you definitely need to formalize. That's when you can be able to get big deals, big projects. So I want to advocate the issue of the work permit. What do I need to get my business formalized? I think for me that would be the first key step. That even makes it easier for you to get loans, because companies or financial institutions are more flexible to giving a company a business loan than giving an individual. So I think on that aspect, the business formalization is my key area that I would focus on for these 3 days.
Okay, thank you very much. As we wind up, I'll allow Mr. Makula to again basically update us on the day for the exhibition and who can come through and be part of it when it comes to, of course, either buying or establishing new business ties with many in the refugee communities.
Thank you very much. I want to take this opportunity to thank NTV for hosting us, and this is a manifestation of its commitment to, to promote inclusive development, to promote entrepreneurs who are also underprivileged. The date for this exhibition is 12th to 14th December this year at Motive. Motive is located along Bugorobi Road, and this event is free for people coming in to create business networks, to buy, to see, and it's also free for entrepreneurs who are coming in to exhibit. So please come, one, come all, come and see what refugees are doing, and come and also create business networks. Come and hear inspirational speeches from these refugees, those who have made it in life, so that the rest of you out there can also be inspired. Some of you Ugandans can easily be inspired by what the refugees are doing, and then you also engage in business. Thank you very much, Mr. Murish.
No doubt. Thank you very much. James Makula, Senior Commercial Officer in the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives. And many thanks to you. To Hilary Mbabazi, Director at Soko Uganda, an implementing partner that is working in a collaboration with the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives. That will do it for Take Note, but do stay with us. My colleague Odere